It's my time and it's my time, my time, my time and it's we get raw. It's my time to spit, my time, my time, my time to spit, we get raw. We are Liverpool, yes, we are.
Emre Can, get the fuck in that. Oh fuck yes. I love you, get in there.
We did it.
Let's not do this anymore. Let's just win against teams we can beat.
I can't believe we won that fucking game.
I want a clap hug. That's all I want.
When you hear a grown-ass, huge man saying things like that, you know that LFC just had a frantic game. Hello, episode 3 of YaRAW show here on Anfield Index TV. Well, what can I say? Maybe it wasn't the most exciting, the most vintage performance by the Reds over the weekend, but nonetheless, we got 3 points. At halftime, I asked everybody to share thoughts. Anfield Pulse, slow, passive, and seemingly without purpose. Very correct statement. The Van, truly awful, no creativeness anywhere. Fair enough. John Caesar, Can is no holding midfielder crying out for a left-sided player, and what's happened to Coutinho? Terrible since injury. Indeed, we're going to talk about this later. Coutinho is a very valid point here, and his inconsistency has been glaring. Shit first half, Mo says, blame Rafa, with undeserved equalizer. Burnley will be devastated to concede there, can't seem to move the ball, not winning 50-50s. Yeah, again, very hard to disagree with that. John McCary, same old story, not good enough against teams who park the bus. Poor at the back, Emre Can poor, other players missing. The only part of this statement I disagree with is that Burnley was parking the bus. They were not parking the bus. In fact, in the first half, they were nothing short of amazing, and they actually could have been much more ahead than 1-0 by the time we equalized. So we were really, really lucky there. They played very, very well. Lloyd, Gum Pistol. Burnley haven't completely parked the bus. They applied pressure and got rewarded. Very right statement again. LFC seem void of ideas. Poor passing and decisions. Yes. And now the very good issue brought up by Pete Diddle. It's a mental issue for LFC now. Players look nervous and we don't have any grit. When was the last time we scored a corner? Regardless of the corner aspect of this tweet, we actually discussed during the game, during the first half, about the mental aspect. And it's really hard to understand why we are so mentally prepared and we're taking the fight to the teams, against the teams like Arsenal or Spurs, and then we concede against the lower half of the table teams, and suddenly we're like everything we had against Arsenal just goes away. The players look disoriented, the passes are not going through. I guess there is something to do with the psychological aspect. That is a very, very fair observation here. Can lad is utter shit and has been entire season. He should not given a spot on the bench. Dude, as much as I agree that Can had a stinker most of the game, well, if he was on the bench, who would have scored the winner? Right? Okay. If you thought this was doom and gloom, get some more from LFC Spirit. One of the worst first halves this season, struggling again to break down. Half teams got out of jail with the equalizer. I don't think it was one of the worst halves this season. I think there were stronger contenders, particularly Leicester. That was definitely the worst half of the season, the first one. Oh my God, it was unbearable to watch. And the top of the doom and gloom chart. Iqbal Hussein, absolutely appalling from LFC. I don't think we will get top 4 now. I don't even want to read the rest of the tweet. Seriously, dude, don't get top 4 because we were 1-1 all at halftime against Burnley and we won 2-1. As far as I remember, there are 10 more games left. Have the fucking patience. Top 4 is still on the cards. All of our competitors for top 4 are playing each other or other strong teams, top 6. Everything is still on the cards. Fuck, stop saying that it's out of our reach just because we had a stinky first half, alright? As much as it was stinky, let's believe. Alright, after the game, some reactions. We played like shit, said Samson Gold, before halftime and after. BI32 said he did not tweet at me at halftime, but nothing changed. Shit first half, shit second half, shit game, could have easily lost as well. I don't think we could have lost, considering how the game unraveled, but that chance by Burnley at the last minutes, my God, my heart was on the floor. I thought that was going in. I thought it's going to be another draw, another disappointment, another heartbreak, but thank God we evaded that and we got a win. And finally, I think that was one of the probably the most fair assessments by me. Touches improved in the second half. Movement was better. Not the best display, but 3 points, right? What I've been saying all along. 3 points is what matters here. Now, one of the biggest talking points of this game, I think, is Emre Can. Now, before the game, some few days before the game, I ran a poll asking whether Chan's contract should be extended. As many as 63% of 278 people said that his contract demands should be met. And I also ran another poll: who is the bigger enigma to among our players, to you guys, to you fans? And Can won that poll. And I think the game against Burnley was a microcosm of what Can represents. Let's be honest, first half was terrible from him. Terrible. Utter fucking wank. And in the situations when he was playing in between two centre-backs, when he was supposed to cover for them, when Milner was exposed, for instance, the only thing he should not have done was losing the ball, because that would have cracked open our defense, because of we're playing the high line at some points. And this is exactly what we did on at least two occasions. Yes, let's not take away anything from phenomenal strike that he had.
Where did Emre come from? Where did that come from? I have no idea.
I think maybe 50% of his passes goes to the right players, and a lot of mistakes it was there by Can.
Emre Can with a beautiful slot into the right lower corner. He really turned around his performance halfway through, I gotta say.
And while I do agree with those who said that Can's wage demands must be met, he's still a very important player for the squad. It's absolutely undeniable that this guy is very, very inconsistent, and he needs to find his form. And just as Gags have been saying all along on our chats and everywhere else, I agree with him wholeheartedly. Can needs to grow into a really filthy bastard. That's the kind of player we're missing on the pitch. You know, in those days when we actually had bastards on the pitch who could take the fight to the opposition. Can has shown on some occasions, like against Arsenal, for instance, that he's a dirty bastard, and the kind that we need. It doesn't work all the time, and this is something that he needs to find consistency with as well. But speaking of inconsistency, I also ran a poll whether we should talk about 4 other issues, and Coutinho's inconsistency won that poll by a very large margin. Coutinho's inconsistency is another trouble. He's the guy who can score a cracker against Man City. He can run the game. He was actually back to his best, or almost back to his best, against Arsenal. But you know, it speaks volumes when the man who is supposed to be the shining star of the team, the engine, the core of it, is getting substituted 50-something minutes into the game, or 60 minutes into the game, for an 18-year-old prospect from the academy. I mean, Ben Woodburn came on, and he actually looked better than Coutinho. That's something that speaks volumes about how bad he was in this game. Couple of good passes, couple of misplaced passes. Actually, the pass which led to Gini's goal, the initial pass, came from Coutinho. He released Divock on the left, which then, you know, went into Gini, and Gini scored. But nonetheless, you're expecting much more from the guy who is supposedly the star shining in this club. And Coutinho's inconsistency is a problem. All right, and one more issue, which also was discussed during this past week, that Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain may be one of those embarking on an exodus from Arsenal FC or Arsene Wenger FC. I asked if we would want to see him at LFC at a reasonable price, and that's actually shocking to me that 260 people voted and 60% said yes, they would have Ox at Liverpool for a reasonable price. Sorry guys, I completely disagree with you. I agree with the 21% who said nay, and I agree with the 19% who said go all in for Alexis, because we should be going all in for Alexis, for fuck's sake. Oxlade-Chamberlain, look at his record. Just look at his record, how many goals he scored, how many games he spent in hospital, and how different is he to Jack Wilshere, whose glorious hospital career has been ruined by appearances at Arsenal FC. I mean, seriously, Oxlade-Chamberlain is injury prone. He doesn't score a lot. Yes, he has the pace, but has he got the quality that we need at Liverpool? I absolutely think not. And I think suggesting that we should buy him and even pay like £10 million for him, no. Go somewhere else. Go Bundesliga. Go anywhere, but not Ox. Stay away from that. Now, before we go, as per usual, I leave you with some of the reactions from fans all across the world. I again urge you to send me more of these reactions. This is my email. Please, it's not hard. Just point the camera at yourselves. Speak, chant, jump, sing, buzz, everything. We want to make it the platform for all of us guys to voice our joy or sadness or indifference, whatever it wants. Ask questions, comment, just put it on video. email it to me, and we'll be golden. And for now, as usual, I drop the mic.
We won ugly, and that's what we need to learn to do. That's my number one thought. And we're gonna fucking keep doing it till the season's over.
Consistency. This is how we gotta do it. Roll on, Reds.
I really enjoyed the corner count today. A lot
How
of
many
corners.
did they? Double digits?
12, I think.
I
That's
think
basically a
double.
goal. It's basically a goal.
I represent the hard